Well, in the first place, I just really want to tell you all, how delighted that I am to be here. Hackney used to be my old stomping ground. Ridley Road Market was, in fact, the second place where we found a shop. And for many years, we traded in Ridley Road Market. So I've got some very, very fond memories of Ridley Road Market. So what I'd like to do, having said that, I would like to go through a prepared statement that I made. And then after that, we want to get as intimate as we can, and that we can talk as if we are around a table about the difficulties and the problems that we had, and how I see the whole thing. So if you bear with me while I read you this prepared statement. Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, I would very much like to thank Rudy Page and Victor Thompson of the Protocol Framework, a group of visionaries who are taking practical steps to make their contribution to the well-being of our community and the nation. Success, I found, breeds success. And my own experience tells me that it is by getting stuck in and by hard work only that we can lay sound foundations for the future of our community and our country. My experience tells me also that through involvement at senior levels both in the public and private sectors, as a board member of the Training and Enterprise Movement, as a director of a health authority, and as chairman of a Housing Action Trust, managing a budget of just over £100 million, and as someone who was given national and international recognition to the shop window of black enterprise in Britain, and here I refer to the annual Afro exhibition held at Alexandra Palace, I speak with some understanding of what really needs to be done. And I therefore, ladies and gentlemen, urge you to get involved in the wider community and let us win. I see, for example, you here opening up markets of Africa and the Caribbean, delivering mutual benefits to all concerned, invoking the spirit of enterprise, and let us get on with the job in hand. Now, how they made $1 million. Some of you already have copies. Is today part of the black social history of Britain. Pioneering the development of an industry that is today positively engaged in the business of wealth creation, with employment for several thousand people, has been, for us, a tortuous journey. Bill Morris, the eminent trade union leader who wrote the foreword, captured the very essence of this feat in the second paragraph of his statement. Many of you may have read it, and I'd just like to go over it. If every journey of 1,000 miles starts with one small step, then the achievements in this book are as relevant in distance traveled and obstacles conquered as Neil Armstrong's journey to the moon. He captured, as I said, ladies and gentlemen, the essence, what I really had in mind. That immortal paragraph underlines in no small measure the difficulties and roadblocks that were put in our way. If, as a community, we are to take our full political and economic place in Britain, this book is a pointer of the mountains we yet have to climb. Breaking out of the prison of unequal opportunity remains a formidable challenge to us all. and calls for an unceasing campaign against the evil of discrimination. My experience tells me that each of us need to be at all times on the front line of the campaign. We have no other choice, and we must, I repeat, must rise to the challenge. Part of the solution has to be commitment, conviction, and the stark realization that we are part of an industrial and commercial society and must function as such, that we must contribute and change where necessary, understanding that unless we do it for ourselves and for our children, that no one will do it for us. It is my belief that our whole socio-political status as a community will always depend in the end on our ability to sustain and maintain our basic interests. We cannot hope to improve our lot. The need for a strong and sound economic base is of paramount importance. All this is an extract from a speech that I made as chairman of the Caribbean Chamber of Commerce in February 1982. In the light of what I have just said, let me draw your attention to some pertinent facts. The government white paper policy in 1977 for the inner cities stated, minority groups living in the inner urban areas need to be given full opportunity to play their part in the task of regeneration. In October 1983, the Financial Guardian investigated the outcome of the 1977 policy statement. Its headline on the subject read, minorities find the climate cold and bleak. Peter Wilson of the London Business School carried out the research. His findings were as follows. Constraints on access to finance, including difficulty with banks, constraints in the physical environment, including access to premises, together with disadvantages imposed by racial discrimination, all combined to hold back our community. 2 years later, in 1985, the labor force survey published by the Department of Employment found that blacks faced twice the white unemployment rate. It is in the light of these facts that I asked the question in my book, has anything changed during these past 3 decades? Yes, without doubt, there has been some change. But for me, the change is dismally slow. It is nothing other than the politics of neglect, holding back the rich cultural diversity of our society from unleashing its huge potential in the business of wealth creation. Our diversity, ladies and gentlemen, is a major strength. When Lennox Lewis fights and wins, as he just did, he brings home the crown for Britain. Others given the chance in other fields of endeavor will do the same. Racism stifles race relations. Its cruelty destroys lives. And our unequivocal commitment to fight racism is a must for each of us. Influencing change has to be a top priority. A glimmer of hope is emerging. Research carried out by the Midland Bank for Race for Opportunity highlights in a cutting from the Financial Times dated 30th of October 1995